In Islamic thought, the Day of Judgment, or Qiyamah, is an absolutely foundational event. Today, we're going to dive deep into the source material and explore the very specific descriptions of what this day is like, especially for those who disbelieve.
So, here's our roadmap. We'll start with the different names for this day, because they tell us a lot. Then we'll get into why it's described as such a terrifying event, when the suffering is said to actually begin, and the nitty-gritty of the final judgment. We'll also look at the huge contrast between the two possible outcomes and wrap up with the whole point behind this powerful message.
All right, let's kick things off with the names themselves. The source material doesn't just give this day one single title. It has several, and each one is like a different lens, giving us a unique angle on what this day is all about.
First up, we have Yawm al-Jam, which translates to the Day of Assembly. Now just try to picture that for a second. Every single person, every creature that has ever existed, all brought together in one single place. The scale of that is just mind-boggling.
And this next one kind of doubles down on that idea. Yawm al-Hashr, or the Day of Gathering. This isn't just a casual get-together, it's a summons, a divine call that no one can ignore. It really emphasizes how inescapable this whole thing is.
Okay, and then there's Yawm Mashhud, the Day of Attendance. Now this one is fascinating. It's not just that you're there, it's that you are there as a witness. Everyone sees everything. There are no secrets, no back rooms, no absentees in this universal courtroom.
So, when you put it all together, what's the big picture? It's a day where everyone, no matter who they were, stands on totally equal footing. And the state you're in, how you feel, what you look like, it's a direct result of the life you lived and the choices you made.
So, everyone's gathered. But this is no peaceful assembly, not even close. The source describes it as an event of pure, absolute terror. So let's unpack why. Why is it depicted with such overwhelming dread?
One of the names for it is Al-Qariya, the Day of Frightening Calamity. The name itself is meant to evoke a striking, terrifying sound, something so powerful that the text says it makes the hearts of all creation tremble. And listen to this chilling description from the source. And hell will appear plainly to the erring, and it will be said unto them, where is that you used to worship instead of Allah? Can they help you or help themselves?
I mean, that really gets to the psychological horror of it, doesn't it? It's one thing to be warned that a punishment exists, but it's a completely different level of terror to actually see it, to see the fire raging, to see these severe-looking angels and all the witnesses lining up to testify against you. It's the ultimate nightmare come to life.
And the punishment itself? It's described as being on a level that's literally beyond human experience. The source is so clear on this. None punishes as he will punish on that day. None binds as he then will bind. It's absolute, it's unique, and it's final. Now, here's an idea from the source material that might surprise you. For those who disbelieve, the whole ordeal doesn't just kick off on the Day of Judgment. Nope. It actually starts way earlier, at the very moment of death.
So if you look at this timeline, you can see how it's laid out. Your earthly life is where all the choices happen. But the process of accountability, that begins right there, at the deathbed, when messengers come for the soul. That's step one of the reckoning.
And get this, in that very moment, we're told the first confession happens. The messengers ask about all the things they worshipped instead of God, and the reply is devastatingly simple. They have departed from us. Right there, they bear witness against themselves that they were disbelievers.
Okay, so let's jump back to the Day of Judgment itself. The source material paints this incredibly detailed and frankly terrifying picture of what the world will actually be like on that day.
The universe as we know it is completely turned on its head. The sky is like molten copper. The mountains are like scattered tufts of wool. And in that cosmic chaos, every human connection is just gone. No one even asks about their closest friend. The panic is so total that a person would gladly offer up their own children, their spouse, their entire family if it meant they could escape.
But there is no escape. The source depicts hell not just as a location, but as an active, almost living thing that is eager to roast. It's described as literally calling out by name for those who rejected the truth and selfishly hoarded their wealth.
And this table here, it lays out the final state of the guilty as they face their judgment. The source describes them being chained together. Their clothes are made of pitch, which is basically flammable tar, and their faces are completely covered by the fire.
It's a truly grim image. Okay, so after painting this incredibly dark picture, the text pivots and it presents this massive contrast. It lays out two totally separate, completely different fates, one for the wicked and another for the righteous. And the comparison couldn't be more direct. It's black and white. For the righteous, lo, the righteous verily will be in delight. Simple as that. But for the wicked, and lo, the wicked verily will be in hell. They will burn therein on the day of judgment. A clear, binary outcome, and it all comes down to their beliefs and actions.
So that makes you ask the big question, right? Why? Why go into such graphic, terrifying detail? Well, the source material actually tells us exactly why this warning is being given.
The text states its own mission, point blank. This is a clear message for mankind in order that they may be warned thereby, and that they may know that he is only one God, and that men of understanding may take heed. At the end of the day, it's all a call to reflect, to understand, and to pay attention.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. After walking through all these powerful descriptions from the source material, what do you think is the intended purpose of such a stark, intense warning?